Will Robinson here from Robinson's Auto Tools and Time.com. Welcome back. Today in the shop we have this 2005 Chevy Trailblazer. Customer complaint is that the check engine light is on. The vehicle lost power. Well, I drove it in here and I can confirm that the check engine light is on. So we're gonna plug in our trusty old scan tool. 2005 light duty truck, 4.2. I'm going to pick the control units to make it a little quicker. See what we have in there for trouble codes. We got one fault code present. Cylinder number 5, misfire detected. Okay, so we're going to exit out of here. It's under special function, misfire graphical. All right, and you'll see here we got cylinder 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And we're going to start it up. I'm going to reset the graph. And as you can see, cylinder number 5 is definitely showing a misfire. How do we know if it's ignition? How do we know if it's fuel? This does have coil on plugs. We can take the coil and move it from cylinder number 5 to another place and see if the misfire travels with it. How about we do something simple like that? Just real quick, down and dirty. They're easy to get to. All right, now we're underneath the hood of this Vortec 4200. You'll have 2 retaining bolts, one here and one right back here. And then we have our hose clamp we want to loosen up a little bit to allow us to move our air duct out of the way. Allow us to gain access to the coil packs. You could unplug the air temp sensor. Better safe than sorry. Move that out of our way for now, just like that. We're just gonna do the old switcheroo. So maybe I'll go for coil number 2. Okay. We're gonna take this coil and we're gonna swap it out with coil number 5, which is back here. I do notice on this one is the head of the bolt is really rusty. So I don't know if water is getting down on here. But this is coil pack number 5. Not seeing anything real obvious here. I'm gonna switch it with number 2. The old switcheroo. So I know to get some parts ordered. Okay, put that one in. Plug this one in. Hook our air cleaner back up. Plug our air temp sensor back in so we don't create more codes. Let's hook everything up. Okay, let's go look at scan data. We're back here at scan data. This is where we shut it off last. As you can see, the misfire was on cylinder number 5. We're going to reset that graph. Start the vehicle. Oops. Lost communication there. And now you can see what it did now. Misfire moved over to cylinder number 2. Pretty much confirming now we have a bad coil at the very least, and cylinder number 5 is capable of firing and contributing as it should. So my best guess at the point, without even digging in much deeper, is that this vehicle still has original plugs in it. So I'm going to recommend we do a complete tune-up on it, new spark plugs, and a new coil pack, which is now on cylinder number 2. We'll replace that one. But a lot of times what I find is that the plugs are so wore out that the coil actually goes bad internally because it finds an easier path to ground. Because remember, the objective is for that coil, that spark, to find a path to ground, and it's usually within that electrode. However, what happens as that gap grows, it becomes harder to jump that gap, and it starts looking for an alternative path. So new plugs, new coil. This one should be good. All right, well, this one's gonna probably be pretty straightforward and simple. I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you guys because I've been absent for a while, as you may have noticed. And I have some content that I have accumulated, but I gotta edit it to see if it's even worth posting or not. Been trying my hands at many different things as far as programming and different other avenues that could be pretty time consuming when you get into the more advanced diagnostics. Doing a lot of bench work. Try not to damage these clips, but how they work is that you gotta lift this little security tab, and then that allows you to, if they come all the way out, it's okay. But that'll allow you to push the retainer down. Pretty straightforward. Number 6 is gonna be your hardest one to get to. Like I said, this is the inline 6-cylinder. So this has a couple aftermarket coils in it. So the back 3 coils are different than the front coils. This one was back there. This was on number 5. So this is our bad coil. Okay, we're going to pull up on this harness a little bit. This clip was already broke, as you've seen. All right, now we just pull out all the bolts and remove all the coils. Pretty straightforward, 10mm on each one. You've seen me earlier when I swapped the coils. Real simple. Now we're gonna take and remove the spark plugs. You'll see them down inside. All right, now at this point, pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna zip the spark plugs out. Take a peek. We take a measurement of these plugs, but as you can see, they have seen better days, and I'm assuming they're original, but you never know. They're AC Delco. We will be putting AC Delco original plugs back in the vehicle. These usually come pre-gapped. It wouldn't hurt to check them. 40 thousandths, 45. So I could just barely fit a 40 thousandths in there. So it's right around 40 thousandths. Putting them in, I'll put them all in by hand. Quick, torquing down the spec. I'm going to repeat the same process on the remaining. All the spark plugs are now in their respective cylinders. I'm going to take and reinstall the coil packs at this moment. Again, pretty straightforward. Once over, make sure our work is good. Everything's plugged in and tight. Put our main duct on. Put your breather hose in. Plug your intake air temperature sensor back in. What do you got? One here. Got one here. Down tight. We have our hose clamp. Get that nice and tight. All right, guys, I think we got this vehicle straightened out for the owner. Until next time, stay tuned.